Well, in this lecture, we are going to study the difference between individual demand and market demand. Now, what is individual demand? Individual demand basically refers to the demand done by an individual or a firm. Already we had studied in lecture 1, lecture 2. Remember the demand done by an individual or a firm. Yes, it is basically considered as individual demand. While suppose more than one firm are there in the market, so demand done by all the firm is basically considered as market demand. Suppose there are 5 firms A, B, C, D, and E. And all the firms are doing demand of 10 units. So total market demand will be 50 units. So this 50 units is the market demand because market demand refers to demand done by all the firms. All the firm means here I am taking the example of 5 firms. Maybe in the real life, there can be 50 firms in the market. So whatever the firms, whatever the number of firms are there in the market, you just need to take the sum of demand of all the firms, you will get market demand. So individual demand basically refers to demand done by an individual or a firm, while market demand refers to the demand done by all the firms in the market. Individual demand may follow or may not follow law of demand. Why? Because an individual, it may happen an individual is reducing the demand. Suppose two are the individual there, A and B. A is rich, B is poor. As B is poor, so as the price of product rises, suppose rupees 10 to rupees 20, the market demand falls from 30 units to 20 units. So it may possible that the firm B, as the price rise, as his purchasing power falls due to rise in price, he is reducing the demand. But firm A, who is already very rich, it doesn't matter to firm A, and he is still continuously increasing the demand at the higher price. So it very individual to individual. Maybe the individual can reduce the demand and law of demand will apply there. Maybe the individual is not reducing the demand and law of demand is not applying there. But in case of market demand, yes, there are many firms, A, B, C, D, E, many firms. Maybe some are reducing the demand, some are not. But ultimately, in the market demand, if price rise, demand will fall. Demand will fall. So conclusion is that in case of individual demand, maybe law of demand does not apply. But in case of market demand, law of demand confirmly apply. Individual demand, in lecture 1, we had studied that individual demand affected by only 5 factors: price of the commodity, price of related good, income of the consumer, taste and preference, expected future price. While market demand affected by 8 factors, all 8 factors: season and weather, size and composition of population, distribution of income, and all 5 factors in affecting individual demand as well. So these are not affecting by all the factors, but market demand affected by all the factors. Law of demand apply in case of market demand. Law of demand may or may not apply in case of individual demand. It is the sum of demand done by all the firm. It is the sum. It is the demand done by only an individual firm. So I hope it's clear, right? Let's move ahead. Now the next slide is to understand the difference between movement along demand curve and shift in demand curve, in which first part is movement along demand curve. Student, kindly put the book in front of you at the time of studying this. It will be easy for you to understand. Movement along demand curve का meaning क्या है? First of all, I would like to tell this. In case of movement along demand curve, when you are making a demand curve, it is either moving downward further, it is either moving downward or moving upward. Understand? It is either moving downward or moving upward. If the demand curve is moving downward direction like this, then it is considered as downward movement of demand curve. It is written here. You can see that. If the demand curve is moving upward direction, it is called upward movement of demand curve. Their other names are downward movement is also considered as increase in quantity demanded, expansion of demand, while upward movement also considered as decrease in quantity demanded and contraction of demand. Now the question is why upward and downward movement happen? Why these two situations occur? तो मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा these two situations occur just due to change in price of the commodity. क्यों occur हो रही है बच्चों? Due to change in price of the commodity, while other factor will remains constant. Means taste and preference, future expectation, number of firms, all types of factor will remains constant. Only the demand will move either downward and upward due to change in price. If suppose price of a commodity, let's understand with the help of a numerical example. Suppose price of a commodity increases from rupees 10 to 20. किसी कमोडिटी का प्राइस 10 रुपए से बढ़कर 20 रुपए हो जाता है, 10 to 20 होता है. इट्स क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड falls from 30 units to 20 units. So here it is clearly visible. The quantity demanded is falling due to increase in price, right? Due to increase in price, 10 से 20 price increase हो रहा है. So here price rises, quantity demanded falls. So this is called decrease in quantity demanded, or also called upward movement of demand curve. How upward movement look? I'm making the diagram also for you. On x-axis, we are showing price. Sorry, on y-axis, we are showing price. On x-axis, we are showing quantity, demand here. Only QD I am writing here because it is taking time. So quantity demanded, okay. And quantity demanded is still 30. So we are plotting the point till 30. 10, 20, and 30. While the price rises from 10 to 20, so you may write it like 10, 20. We are taking price on quantity. So 10 on 30. 10 on 30. Yani initially the demand quantity demanded was 30 units. Now as price rises to 20, quantity demanded fall to 20 units. Means it is going upward direction. Am I right? It is going in upward direction. You may join the points from the x and y axis also. So this upward movement before, ध्यान से देखना, before the quantity demanded was 30 units and now it reaches to 20 units, yani upward direction. This upward direction is basically considered as contraction of demand. It is, ये लिख सकते हैं आप, contraction of demand or decrease in quantity demanded. In case of expansion, what will happen? Price further falls to rupees 10, suppose. प्राइस गिरकर क्या हो जाता है बच्चों? 10 हो जाता है. And quantity demanded again increases to 30 units from 20 units. तो व्हाट विल हैपन इन दिस केस, आप सिर्फ इसको फोकस करिए प्लीज, मैं जरा कलर चेंज करता हूं, आपको इजी रहेगा समझ। सी दिस, 20 से 10 हो रहा है प्राइस, प्राइस इज रिड्यूसिंग एंड क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड इज इंक्रीजिंग। इट in this case when the quantity demanded rises due to decrease in price, it is called expansion of demand. In this case what will happen when you will make the diagram, लगभग diagram will be this, and 20 से 30, अब की बार क्या हो रहा है, पहले 20 यूनिट्स थी क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड, अब 30 यूनिट्स हो गई है। इट मींस इट इज डाउनवर्ड मूवमेंट ऑफ डिमांड कर्व, एंड दिस डाउनवर्ड मूवमेंट इज कॉल्ड, yes, expansion of demand, increase in quantity demanded or downward. So now you have understood. If somebody asks what is increase in quantity demanded, it refers to increase in quantity demanded. It refers to increase in quantity demanded due to decrease in price, while other factor will remains constant. And in decrease in quantity demanded means decrease in quantity demanded due to increase in price, while other factor will remains constant. So my dear students, two things you need to understand. First, definition. Decrease expansion of demand refers to increase in quantity demanded due to decrease in price, while other factor will remains constant. You can see that price के decrease होने पर ही तो demand increase हो रही है, तो law of demand apply हो रहा है. Okay, contraction of demand में demand गिर रही है, क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड फॉल हो रही है, इन प्राइस इंक्रीज होने पर अगेन इसमें भी लॉ ऑफ डिमांड अप्लाई हुआ है, एंड अदर फैक्टर इनमें कांस्टेंट है, प्राइस चेंज हो रहा है. नाउ लेट्स मूव टुवर्ड्स द शिफ्ट इन डिमांड. ओके, शिफ्ट इन डिमांड कर्व, द नेक्स्ट केस. Once again, kindly put books in front of you and see the books and see the topics in front of you, then you will become able to understand. Now it is shift in demand. What is shift in demand curve? Shift in demand curve basically refers to when you are making a demand curve, this time it is not moving downward or upward, it is actually shifting rightward or leftward. If it is shifting rightward, it is called increase in demand, right? You can see that rightward shift is called increase in demand. And if it is shifting leftward, then it is called decrease in demand or leftward shift of demand. Okay, students. Now the question is how? So let's understand once again with the help of a table and diagram. Price, again quantity demanded again. This time, suppose the price of the product was 10, quantity demanded was 20 units initially, price remains 10, but the quantity demanded increases to 30 units now. Oh wow. It simply means here that quantity demanded is increasing, not because of change in price. So automatically it is understandable that the quantity demanded is increasing due to change in other factors, not because of change in price. And when such kind of situation happen, when the quantity demanded shift rightward due to change in other factor, it is called increase in demand. This one. Price, which remains 10 constant, while quantity demanded increases to 30 units. So 10, 20, 30 units. Okay. Now first is 10 on 20. तो हमने 10 प्राइस ले लिया 20 यूनिट्स पर, देन 10 ऑन 30 यानी 30 यूनिट्स हो गई पहले, यानी कि डिमांड हमारा वाज 20 यूनिट्स, नाउ डिमांड इंक्रीजेस एंड रीचेस टू 30 यूनिट्स. So what is this? This is rightward shift in demand curve, yeah, also considered as increase in demand. And suppose price is still 10 and demand again falls and reaches to 20 units. Sorry, 10 units. Price अब भी 10 ही है, डिमांड गिर गई ड्यू टू अदर फैक्टर्स, मे बी टेस्ट अनफेवरेबल हो गया, मे बी टेक्नोलॉजी आउटडेटेड हो गई, कोई भी रीजन हो सकता है जिसकी वजह से डिमांड गिर गई. अगर डिमांड गिर गई और वापस 10 यूनिट हो गई तो इट विल शिफ्ट इन लेफ्टवर्ड डायरेक्शन. And when it shifts in leftward direction and the new demand curve will become D2. So what does it show? It shows leftward shift in demand, which is called decrease in demand or leftward shift in demand. Students, any query? Once again, आप बुक्स को सामने रखकर अगर पढ़ रहे हैं तो आप इसको बेटर समझ पाएंगे. Okay. So this is the clearly definition, example, everything where I'm showing it that price is same but still demand 20 to 30 unit हो रहा है, price same 30 to 20 units हो रहा है. You can see that increase in demand refers to rightward shift of demand curve, जैसे मैंने बताया आपको, other factors में change होने की वजह से while price will remains constant. And in decrease in demand, once again it is a leftward shift in demand curve due to change in other factors, जबकि price remains constant. So I hope आपको समझ में आ गया होगा students. Now, what are the causes behind increase in demand? So obviously, the factors that we already had studied in lecture 1 are the causes due to which demand increase or decrease. I already told you. Why demand is increasing? Suppose टी का प्राइस इंक्रीज होता है तो कॉफी की डिमांड इंक्रीज होती है, यानी इफ द प्राइस ऑफ सब्स्टिट्यूट गुड राइजेस देन डिमांड ऑफ रिलेटेड गुड विल आल्सो राइज. अच्छा, ऐसे ही टी एंड शुगर में इफ द प्राइस ऑफ टी राइजेस देन डिमांड ऑफ टी फॉल्स and the demand of sugar also falls, yani decrease in price of complementary goods. If income of the consumer increases, certainly consumer will increase the demand of normal good. मैंने फैक्टर्स में बताया है, अदरवाइज आप लेक्चर 1 में फैक्टर्स में जाके दोबारा से उनको समझ सकते हैं, आपको ये ध्यान आ जाएगा. एक्सपेक्टेशन, सपोज करिए फ्यूचर में आपको लगता है कि जो गोल्ड आज आप खरीदने जा रहे हो फ्यूचर में उसका प्राइस इंक्रीज हो जाएगा, तो इफ द प्राइस ऑफ द गोल्ड विल इंक्रीज इन फ्यूचर देन इट इज बेटर टू परचेज इट टुडे, then you will increase the demand today. So if here is an expectation to increase the price of the product in future, you are increasing the demand in present. But once again, this is the cause of increase in demand in present. Your taste become favorable towards the product, you are increasing the demand. If in a market of a particular product towards a particular product, the number of people rises, those are purchasing that particular product, then demand increases. And if you will vice versa, यानी आप इन पॉइंट्स को उल्टा कर देंगे, इंक्रीज को डिक्रीज कर देंगे, डिक्रीज को इंक्रीज, तो आपके कॉज बन जाएंगे डिक्रीज इन डिमांड के. तो बच्चों, these are the causes behind increase and decrease in demand. In next lecture we will start with this. Thank you.